Welcome to our SMA International News for the month of December. We have items first from Ireland, where we hear from the parish priest of one of our parishes in Cork City. Then we'll go to Strasbourg, where we hear about a recent concert that was organised there to support the work of mission in Africa. And then we go to Rome, where we hear about a recent meeting between the SMA-OLA members of a commission that was set up to look at our common heritage. We begin with Ireland, and in 2016, Father Alphonse Sekongo, who comes from Ivory Coast, he was appointed the parish priest of St. Joseph's Parish in Blackrock Road. And now, after 6 years, he is going to share with us some of his insights and learnings from that experience.
When I received a call from Rome and telling me that I'm going to Ireland, and then I rang my mom. I said, "Mom, this is the latest news." And she said, when I said, I have been appointed to Ireland, she said, "Where is that?" You know? And I said, it's not far from England, London. And she said, "Okay, but this is white people country. Why are they sending you over there?" And I said, "Mom, this is the life I've chosen, to become a priest and precisely a missionary. So I'm open to all options, you know. So I'm going to work in Ireland, but I never knew how I'm going to adjust myself in the culture where everybody is white."
The Irish community of SMA were very supportive of Father Alphonse's appointment and offered great encouragement and advice.
And don't forget, you are one of the pioneers. So you use an expression, is it a groundbreaking? So you are one of them. So make sure that your years over here will be fruitful for you. That's what he said, for you first. They have to be good for you. And then other people will appreciate it. So for me, the internationality has brought something different in my life as an SMA.
The global pandemic of COVID-19 was the biggest challenge for the parish priest.
It was tough. It was tough because you couldn't do anything. So to a point that I asked myself, is it worthy to be a priest in such circumstance? How helpful could I be for the church members? You know, how could I be more relevant in this situation? So then one morning I just thought of, why not start having my mass online? Because we have the facility, the webcam, the live streaming is there. So let me do something. And then, to my surprise, 3 days later, someone rang on the phone and said, "Is it Father Alphonse?" I said, "Yes." "Oh, Father, I watched you this morning. Thank you." You know, so we keep you in our prayers and keep it up. From that call, people are watching me. Why not wave at them? Why not wave at them? And then I waved to the camera, knowing that many people are there.
He continued his contact with the sick and other parishioners by phone.
What I did, I rang all those sick people that I used to visit on the first Friday of the month, just to have some information to see how they are faring with this COVID situation. Are they still alive? You know? And it really boosted my love for them. After 5 years or 6 years, I think that's the time you get to ground yourself in the culture. This is the time for you, you start getting friends that will be ready for you, you know? And this is also the time for you to leave the parish, you know? So it's a bit, let me say, it's a kind of dilemma. So you are coming to know people better, and this is a time for you to live. This is life. So I would like to say, Goremile Margot, thank you very much.
And now we go to Strasbourg, where we hear about a charity concert organised by the SMA in order to generate funds for projects in Africa and particularly in Liberia. Several SMA and OLA members gathered together with people who were eager to participate in this fundraising in order to support the work of mission.
On October 23rd, to close World Missions Week, the OLA Sisters and the SMA Fathers of the province of Strasbourg organized a concert at the SMA Chapel in Ageno. It was a moment of prayer and discovery of the universal mission of the Church. The word of welcome was given by Father Andre Nkoy, Provincial Superior of Strasbourg, after a moment of silence for Sister Cecile Asugu, religious catechist of the Sacred Heart, who died in Lyon on October 21st, 2021. The voice of the three musical groups who had graced this mission concert, with their presence allowed participants to move to the rhythm of tam-tam, gospel, salsa, new age music, and classical music. The benefit of the concert will go to the missions of Liberia.
And now we go to Rome, where we hear about a meeting that took place recently between the members of SMA and OLA, who are members of a committee set up in order to look at our common heritage. That meeting took place from November the 2nd to the 6th. This meeting is part of ongoing meetings by that committee to further the process called On the Way to 2026. It was initiated after the General Assembly and chapter of both SMA and OLA in 2019.
On the way to 2026. This is the objective set by the SMA-OLA Commission on the Common Spiritual Heritage, an objective divided into 4 phases, the current phase of which is the experiential phase for which the committee met from 2nd to 6th November 2021.
This meeting was held to see and examine the various responses that we are sent as part of the experiential phase of the journey that we have initiated. I would like to refresh our memory so that we fully understand why this meeting took place. You know, since 2017, the 2 General Councils, the SMA General Council and the OLA General Council, have approved a process on the way to 2026. It is a path that the 2 institutes have agreed to take together. Why such a process? You know, there is a proverb in Africa, a proverb in my place in particular, which says that it is at the end of the old cord that we weave the new. We want to draw from the treasures of our history the elements of our charism. We also want to draw from our experience today some element of our charism and confront what we are living today with what was lived a few years ago. Confront the two and identify the essential elements of our charism and update them. Because as you know very well, all charism is called to evolve. Charism is not static, it's dynamic. We want to see what we are experiencing today, if it is conformed to the primary intuition of our founders and their immediate successors. Confront all this and identify the essential elements of our charism in order to better live our missions in the context which is ours.
Notre mission dans le contexte qui est le nôtre.
On the way to 2026. But one might wonder, why 2026?
I'd like to remind us that all these works we are doing now, it's actually with the aim of preparing us adequately to celebrate in the year 2026, to celebrate a very important landmark in the life of our two institutes. There will be 3 celebrations in one. The first is the 200 years of the birth of the founders of our Sisters of Our Lady of Apostles, our dear Father Augustine Planck, who was the first Superior General of the SMA and the co-founder of the SMA. The second thing we shall be celebrating is 170 years of the foundation of the SMA, and also 150 years of the foundation of the Sisters of Our Lady of Apostles. So it's really beautiful because we don't want to arrive in 2026 and just think of the merriment of the celebration. We want to use the occasion to revive, to renew, to actualize our charism, to make it new again, so that all our sisters and all our fathers everywhere in the world will be able to attract more people to join on this missionary dream. The mission, especially in Africa, is what gave birth to our congregations, and we would like to validate this even in the reality of today. So we ask you to pray along with us as we do this together, because we've all been part of the journey.
While awaiting the results of the various reflections, everyone is called upon to make this process his or our own.
And now for some general news. From November the 9th to the 12th, the superiors of the provinces of Europe, Canada and USA met for a face-to-face meeting in Rome in order to look at how best to prepare for the way forward. On the 20th of November, Bishop Dieudonné Datonou, recently appointed Apostolic Nuncio in Burundi, was consecrated Archbishop in St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. He is the first Apostolic Nuncio from the Republic of Benin. In Ireland, we mourn the passing of Father Tom KEARNEY SMA, who in his retirement in SMA House in Wilton undertook many environmental projects, including an experimental, sustainable aquaponics system that was featured on RTE, that is the national television service in Ireland. And that brings us to the end of this edition of SMA International News for December. We look forward to having you with us again in the new year, and now I'd like to wish you all a very happy Christmas.